Oh, that's a nice little crash to get going. See, if you didn't think that I really was technologically inept, then this would prove it. Oh, and also the TV's on down here, so that has to be off. Wow. I'm doing real well here. That's me on the side of the studio. So the mic is super cranked up. I screwed up some settings on here, but I don't want to touch anything. And my new teleprompter, the remote control doesn't work. The remote control shit the bed. So I'm in the middle right now because when my guest comes on, he's going to be in the guest seat and I'm going to be in that seat. It's going to be kind of like musical chairs, but God knows the shadows then. So, yeah, so this was just I finished band rehearsal with the Gypsy Felons maybe 20 minutes ago. Quickly got out of my I Love Shix's t-shirt and put this shirt on. I washed up, of course. But so I have a bunch of blank index cards there and um I set up this tablet to be a teleprompter and the remote doesn't work so I can't scroll it. So I was gonna just prop it up in the teleprompter spot, but the issue becomes that I can't, like, speed it up and slow it down. So I'm kinda screwed, but it is 10 o'clock or a few minutes after. It is the happy hour with Seth, and, I wanna thank everyone who's watching. I feel like I should give you a copay every week at the end of the hour. I think this shirt makes me look like two-ton Tessie, and yes, these aren't my usual headphones, but I do like them because they have an obnoxious orange cord. However, with the Knicks and the Mets, the orange cord works. They also, the cord this set of headset makes it sound like I'm in a like an echo chamber. So it's kind of weird. But sorry about my lateness again. Everything was thrown out of whack, thrown amok, if you will. Last week I had mentioned limericks. I still go limerick. I think it's limerick. Also, the missing Mets video. I feel naked without the cards. See what happens? You get used to look, I still wear Lucky jeans. I don't know if those are in, if they're not in. I mean, if I wear them, I'm sure they're not in. It's all about the kicks, all about the shoes, baby. I can't even figure out what some of these shadows are. It's a weird shadow here, a moon shadow, if you will. It's probably off of that fucking teleprompter. Anyway, yeah, so I am not like the technically savvy guy, but we know that. So we do have the missing Mets video from last week, which is good because Jesse's here and he is kind of the star of that video. That video is all about Jesse. Um, we have some dating ditties, Cheese Louise. Really just one. Oh my God. Oh my God, really just one. What's Nightmare on Merrick Avenue is what I should call that segment. And of course, Storage Truths. Oh, damn it. I didn't bring down the 1963 Polaroid land camera. It was in a unit filled with uh, crap. And I know that every week I come on and I say, oh, it was a fucked up week. Because usually it was a fucked up week, but I also am like, oh, I have a wacky storage story, uh, and it involves whatever. I don't get it. You watch the show on TV, they have all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, look, a fucking Mickey Mantle baseball bat. Oh, Jimi Hendrix's guitar, Ron Jeremy's penis warmer, whatever. It's all like cool stuff. I go into a unit, it's filled with fucking laundry, uh, and broken shit. I brought home a TV. It looks like someone took a blowtorch to the bottom. Does it work? I don't know. Uh, it's a Samsung beautiful TV. It's relatively new, and it looks like someone took a blowtorch to the bottom. None of this is what's on the iPad. It's not an iPad, actually. It's an Android uh, S10 or something. I don't know. I got it for half price on Amazon because I'm Jewish. So certain angles, I'll tell you what, I have more chins than a Flushing phone book. So that's one of my favorite go-to lines. Polaroid land camera. So down here is very different. And I would hold up the camera and walk around, but you'd all get violently ill from the camera because my hands I have my father's hands. That's actually pretty steady for me. Um, I'm not exactly steady Eddie. So, couple of new things down here. A Marshall 412 cabinet because I don't play guitar, but I had to have it. Two new snare drums, which I actually posted the video unpacking one. However, I did get rid of one snare drum, so I feel like you bring one in, you get rid of one. So it's kind of a wash, sort of a wash, kind of sort of a wash. Uh, and I can't remember, there was other new shit down here, but don't get me wrong, it all came from units. So unit like storage unit, not eunuch like man with no balls. Um, so the snare drum thing is literally an obsession. Not in a good way, because I say to myself, "Well, how many snare drums can a man need?" And everyone who checks it out, fellow drummers are like, "Boing," because I have some cool shit. But about a year ago, I said, "I'm gonna start to use it all. If I have gigs, I'm gonna play out with it because what's the fucking point of having it if I can't enjoy it and use it?" Nothing's museum quality, and I don't have a museum. So all of my drums, my cymbals, I bring it all out. I use it all. And, from a $200 drum to a $2,000 drum, I use it and I enjoy the shit out of it. Uh, but people see it. Non-drummers are like, "Why do you have so many snare drums?" And drummers are like, "Wow, you have so many snare drums." So it's a weird mix. And I sent Bobby um, a I guess it's a meme. I'm gonna call it a meme, and it's one of the ones with, like, Leonardo DiCaprio holding the glass, being all like, "Hey, I'm, super cool." Here it is, and this is, when people see my drum collection, they think I'm rich. Bro, I'm just irresponsible. So that's actually pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I mean, I'm responsible when I have to be, but, the other thing that I sent Bobby was it's a kind of a spin on, you know, people like me because I keep it real, people hate me for the same oh, here, I have people who love me because I'm me, and I have people who hate me for the same reason. That should be on my fucking tombstone, or I should just wear it, like, on a shirt. Constantly, because that is actually super, super true. Um, and there's, there's, I do have a shirt that says, "Women love me because of my mouth." It might say, "People love." No, it does say, "Women love me because of my mouth. Other people hate me because of my mouth," or "Women hate me because of my mouth." But it's like a kind of a sexual innuendo slash. Um, I don't know, for me, it's true. I know it's a play on words, but so I do have the serious issue with drums and sneakers. So I had so much stuff, and I'm like, "Well, I can't believe that." Of course, I'm having technical trouble, but it's Bobby's so used to it now. He's very calm, you know, behind the scenes. Like he must say to himself, "How does he, you know, fuck this up? It's plugging in a wire." And he might be right, but I'm not like an audio engineer. Like for him, it's all easy stuff. For me, it's plugging in like a wire. Then there's knobs, nice knobs. And I sometimes just watch the lights bounce and I find it very soothing, very soothing. But that's me. So this is crazy. I'm gonna catch a lot of shit for some of these stories. But this week, I had a threesome with a Chinese girl and her twin sister, her twin. I wasn't going to, but one thing led to another. One thing. So yeah. Uh, Earlier in the week, this was fucked up too. I could hear people kind of just shutting it off right now. And some of these I wrote down like 10 years ago. So not that I've matured since then, but I'm thinking like it would be funnier if I was telling it like to a bunch of guys sitting in my basement in Rockville Center at my parents' house smoking pot. But so just pretend you're doing that. I had a woman who said she wouldn't have sex with me until she had a bottle of wine in her. It was a bit of a struggle, but we got it done. And it turns out she meant drink a bottle of wine. So how the fuck was I supposed to know that? I'm trying to think what else happened this week. Oh, snap. I got pulled over and for speeding. And it was legit, and I love law enforcement. Anyone out there in law enforcement, I love you. So I got pulled over for speeding, and the cop's like, "You know why I pulled you over?" I said, "Yeah, I was speeding, but officer, it's a matter of life and death." And he said, let me hear this. What?" And I said, "Well, you know, there's a naked woman at my house." And he said, "That doesn't sound so terrible." And I said, "Yeah, but if I don't get home before my girlfriend, she's gonna kill me." So he wrote me the ticket. He didn't really find it as humorous as I did. Um, my question is, how many of these do I tell? And people are like, huh, like the chickpea. I know I keep going back to the chickpea. The difference between a chickpea and a lentil, I don't pay $50 to have a lentil on my face. So then people are like, huh, I bet you he pays $50 to have a chickpea on his face. But I don't. I mean, not not is it I wonder if it's a write-off. If I talk about it, I feel like it's if it's a write-off, but and then these I was gonna save for when we do the Tinder talk about, but, uh, I just wanna get it out of the way because my girlfriend broke up with me last night. Terrible. She broke up with me. She told me I'm too kinky and that I like weird stuff. I almost choked on her urine when she told me that I like weird stuff and that she's breaking up with me. Very strange. So, this one, I hear groans. I hear like mumbling, but, uh, but so Steven, the guy next door, rings my bell and asks if he can borrow $25 for a book on suicide. I was like, "Fuck you, I'm never gonna get that money back." He's gonna read the book, he's gonna off himself. So and I'm gonna save these other ones for the online dating segment. I do have to say that before my girlfriend broke up with me, I hope I'm not that I'm gonna get very emotional. She threw me out because she caught me in bed with her sister. You would think a grown how pathetic, a grown woman, she's jealous of a 17-year-old. It's crazy talk, crazy. But, I did say I'm gonna save those jokes, ouch. Um, yeah, there's a couple of really fucked up jokes. coming up. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna switch to the cue cards for Jesse. Um, this is the video that somehow got lost last week, and while the video's on, Jesse's gonna come out here. So, Bobby, if we could roll that video, it'd be awesome.
Seth, get me in the video.
Look at this. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, that was decent.
How close is it?
That was awesome. That was pretty close. Can I grab a picture with you real quick?
What?
Yeah, I like that at the end, how I'm like, "Hey, can this perv take a picture with you real quick?" I'm gonna switch to the other chair. Hopefully, this works. You're gonna get to see this beak in a profile. Let's see. I think it's gonna work. Yeah, except there's a light here that's shining on me. The Shining. Oh, that's better. That's better. So Jesse's here. He's the guy who was shooting the cannon. And I do have a couple of questions about that. If I could figure out how to get out of this, because this would be the card that says interview with Jesse. You guys are getting all the back, the background, the inside scoop. It's telling me I should upgrade to the pro version because I shouldn't be so cheap, but I'm not going to do that. So Jesse is going to be starting a podcast. He's an entrepreneur of sorts. And damn it, next week I'm going to wear because I'm going to get shirts from him for nothing. So I'm going to wear why can't what is it, full sale?
Full send.
Full send.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear some cool full send swag. I did steal a sweatshirt, and it's my most comfortable sweatshirts, and now I'm gonna have to pay him for it
No, you
because he knows I stole it. So, but I'm gonna pay him with like that fake prop money that it's very big in Freeport. People think it's real currency, but it's not. So the questions, I don't even have to look at that because I pretty much memorize them. I should show everyone the teleprompter so they know what brand to not purchase. But hey, I can't see someone's watching and sent a message with my name with an exclamation point. Oh my God.
And
See, these must be people Jesse knows. So I'm going to give a toast for her saying hello. Um, Ah, so this is White Claw mango because I'm a manly man. But so Jesse, he's kind of like he's I would say super fan, but I don't like throwing around the term super fan. He's a big Mets fan. I
yeah,
consider myself a Mets fan, but he's like a statistician. He knows all the who does what. I know which guys I think should be in commercials because I find them to be handsome and trustworthy. I know which guys I'd want to be on a long car ride to Florida with, and which guys I wouldn't. I know which guys in my head I think they might have body odor, and none of this is validated. None of this is based on anything other than a strong hunch. Alvarez. I think he's so cool. I think that when we drive to Florida one day, he's going to try to convert me because he puts a cross on his face, and like that's fucking cool. So then I was thinking, if I was a professional ball player, uh, um, I would do that with the Star of David, or I would just shave my chest hair into a Star of David, and if I got a hit and got on base, I'd tear my shirt open. And we were actually watching the game the other day, and I was discussing what I would do, like if I got a double, I'd probably drop my pants and moon the crowd. It was the Met Yankee game, and I'm mature. So, but anyway, so did I mention that Jesse Sam Adams Haskell is here? And my first question is, I should say, well, you saw that uh, the video, in fact, there's a photo that truly captures the essence of the moment. Um, I always wonder, is Bobby rolling his eyes when I drop the smooth hit? Look at that. Look at that. Is that like a fucking boy band? It's incredible. Incredible. Oh my God. I don't know. I think if I would owned a company, I would hire those three guys for like a beer commercial or maybe a razor commercial or condoms. You know, that's what I would do. I don't own a condom company. So, but if I did, the three of us would be stars. So here's my question for
What's
you.
up, Seth?
Um, Usually the Mets have like a collapse. This is me being like a serious, like I could be a journalist. So I'm Chris Hansen. Why do you have condoms and wine coolers? That would be more my cup of tea. But so usually around August, when we think that we're kicking ass and headed to the playoffs trouble free, the Mets have what I call a complete fucking collapse. Um, I will never forget. Actually, I forgot what year it was, so I shouldn't say I'll never forget. I remember when they were, the season was locked up. They were winners, and they didn't even make the fucking playoffs because they dropped. The number might be wrong. I'm going to say 400 games in a row, and
There's a few seasons you could be talking
yeah,
about there.
yeah. So what's the deal now with? I mean, like they're paying Soto a lot of money, and he's not great.
I mean, I think Soto's nothing to worry about. I think Soto's a generational talent. I don't really think he's somebody we need to worry about. I really think that's more about the media trying to frame a perspective from the Yankee fans' point of view. I truly feel that, you know, everybody who's seen that man play the last 5, 6 years, they know there's nothing to worry about. But if you're coming from the other side, they want to make it look like he's not happy, like he's not having a good time in Queens, that he'd be happier in the Bronx. But
He seemed happy when I mean, we were standing right by him in the outfield, and I think he felt I was looking at his ass,
because you were.
because I was, and I
You
was
were.
commenting, "I see Soto's ass."
Yeah.
But, like, the team genuinely seems like they like each other,
Yeah.
they like
I
playing.
think they do personally. I think they like each other. I just think Soto's the type of guy where when you're a generational talent like that, you expect the most out of yourself. So I personally think that if you're not going to be playing up to the standards that he has for himself, he's not going to be happy go lucky. He's not going to show that Soto shuffle and the excitement that you want to see right now because he expects a lot out of himself. I don't agree with him not hustling. Out of the box sometimes this and that. If you're going to get paid $765 million, you should at least hustle. But I don't think
That's
he's a thing to
almost
worry about.
it's almost what I make, from the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't wanna brag. So and then when you see, like, certain things, first of all, if you haven't been to a game this season, you gotta go. It's
Absolutely.
so much fun. The atmosphere is so great.
Something there for everybody, honestly.
There really
Yeah.
is. And when you go, you gotta do the pastrami sandwich.
Mhm.
Ooh, my nipple just got hard saying that. So, and you can check my YouTube. There's some pastrami videos up. It's @/SethRock1. Um, because again, I'm so technically savvy. So, so again, like you have a different perspective because you played high school athletics, college athletics. Like uh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I remember Gerard Lavelle's dad was my little league coach, and his advice to me, because of my level of play, was to lean into the pitch and get hit. And it, it hurts. Um, but it was the only way I could get on fucking base. So you start to get used to the pain. My first little league season with George's Bakery, I went an astonishing 1 for 40. 1 for 40. Uh, what a hit. I remember the sound of the bat hitting the ball. It was like, yeah, that was like what it was like. It was like click. And I ran with all my might uh, for a fat Jew. And the first baseman dropped the ball by the grace of fucking God. That was my moment. That was my that was my moment. Like he's waiting for a Soto moment.
Yeah,
That was a Salvin
yeah,
moment. It was, and
a sour moment.
after the game, my mother would kiss me like I was fucking Pete Rose. Oh, you were wonderful out there. I stood in the outfield picking dandelions. So then I had the opportunity to coach my kids, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, is all I'm saying. It's not, they have my athletic prowess. Ugh. But they both play drums and play well.
I can't do that. That's something I
So,
always wanted to
see,
do. Is personally, I can't. I would love to play an instrument, but
well, maybe we will get you going about that.
I would love that.
So now my next question is, um, so having played, you get emotionally invested
Yeah.
into the game. You can see the guys. Granted, it's a long fucking season,
Mhm.
so if you're gonna lose games,
Yeah.
I get it, but how much of it you think really like sticks with them when they win, when they lose?
I think personally playing, it's a little different for each sport, but one thing stays the same is that you got to flush away that game. So, like, whether it's a good game or a bad game, I feel like you should always flush it away because the next game, what's coming up, is
Right,
important. You don't really want to stick on the emotion of the last game. I mean, for me, playing football was different because there's not as many games. So it's
right,
a little more important to win almost every game. Where
true.
baseball, you got 162 games. And I mean, even when you're younger, playing baseball and everything like that, there's still a lot more games compared to football. You're not playing 162, but you're playing, you know, 40, 50, 60 games, depending on which league you're in.
Right,
Could be more, obviously.
right. So, and also like Long Island, I feel like Long Island, you have, and I'm not shitting on anyone's town, but you have like, let's face it, the Cedarhurst rabbis are not as tough as like the Freeport Red Devils.
Yeah, like I played in Oceanside, and
He
we
was
had
a sailor.
that was a Saturday. We had a very good football team. I mean,
Jay Fiedler.
yeah, he's older than me, but he was definitely well known in Oceanside. But when it comes to baseball too, like we live in well, where do we live right now? Seaford.
Seaford.
I mean, that's pretty close, but Massapequa's got the best baseball teams. They were just in the Little League World Series. They won.
Plus, they're the Chiefs.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like, well, Southside was the Cyclones. And a cyclone is much like marriage because uh, once the blowing's over, you lose your house and your car and your boat. Wow, that's rough. That's rough. So I don't know what this says about racehorses, but I do have a note that says uh, it says you have to take a real quick break. What I meant was we have to go into a sponsor break um, because uh, I always worry that Bobby is throwing darts at the screen with me on it because I have technological challenges. However, with that said, Larry Scott doesn't have technological challenges. Larry, Ludwig Larry, as I call him, and I can't remember the names of all of the facilities he had on Long Island. He is the king of used gear, professional level gear. The drum set that I played on tonight in Club 4006 is from Larry Scott, a 1977 Slingerland Jupiter kit. The thing still has it had the original heads. I kept them all. I changed the heads. and it still has the fucking tags on the stands. So that gives you an idea of the quality stuff he gets. Plus his dog, Lucy, I made out with that dog. Not my idea, it was hers, but and Larry, of course, recorded it, being the proud father. Um, so I assume when I run for president, this is gonna come out, this crazy, wacky, video, and I'll say it was like AI or something. Um, but I made out with that dog. There's also, Go Go Granny Racing, and I know I keep saying I'm gonna have her on. The horse birth video, the horse conception video was, a little frightening. The horse birth video is so fucking cool because it's a horse. The horse gives birth to a horse, and, like, woof, wild, wild stuff. Today, when I picked up the amplifier, the guy said, "I needed to meet you at a public place." And I'm like, "Well, if you think I can't kill you in a public place, you're wrong." And he said, "Maybe we shouldn't meet." But so we met at All American Burger, and I said, "I'll even buy you a burger." And he said, "Oh, I don't eat fast food." And I was like, "What the fuck? What kind of communist is this man?" But I met him there anyway, and I didn't have All American, uh, unless you count French fries, and they were good. They were good. So All American Burger, Massapequa. See, it all comes back to Massapequa. They are the chiefs of burgers. Look at that. Oh, my other nipple just got hard. So they are fantastic. And if you look at their logo and how it says All American in red, white, and blue, I feel like that's uh, very telling. Um,
That place actually almost they tried to get McDonald's tried to buy that place
yeah.
for a lot of money. That place is like if you're from around here, that place is very famous.
So I'll tell you a little secret is I'm very close with the owner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a fat fuck.
So
So, but and then I had ice cream because it's Marshall's ice cream. So Marshall's ice cream bar, uh, I think I mentioned that I took Stan there and he ordered Spumoni ice cream. And I'm like, "What? Spumoni ice cream?" He claims it was delicious, but I feel like it's very stereotypical. Like if I went in and ordered matzo ice cream, I don't know. I don't know. I'm the first to say when I don't know. Look, I just reached for glasses. There it is, Marshall's ice cream. So I always get a chocolate vanilla twist, uh, sometimes cup, sometimes cone. But then when I eat it, uh, I get, especially a cone, I get people watch me eat it. Like ladies will watch me eat it. And my father always said, pick one thing and do it well. So, I mean, I can't, I can't even, I didn't know he meant like a career. What I picked, you know, is, uh, is something that's done in private with someone else, a woman. Um, I think I've said enough. And now I could envision my daughter, shutting her computer, maybe throwing it out the window. So definitely do those local, support local businesses. There's also Paradise Studios, in Massapequa, again, Massapequa, and Newsday. Holy shit, Newsday just voted Massapequa the number one town to live in New York. I don't read that anti-Semitic shitbag rag of a newspaper. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's Newsday. They're still a news outlet, and I'm not going to be like, "Oh, fake news," because I've appeared in Newsday and I have it like dry mounted and framed. So they're a credible source. Uh, they called me a versatile drummer. So, I mean, they're still anti-Semitic, but they like me. They must have thought I was an eagle instead of a Jew. They must have thought. So I did have a question for Jesse. Um, I have a couple of questions, and I made a note. Uh, we got so tied into baseball um, that we didn't discuss the number one sport, which is professional wrestling. No, I'm kidding. So my question is, are the Knicks on right now?
They were just before you got me coming down here. They were winning by 10.
Okay, so the Knicks,
Yeah.
at the point of this broadcast, we actually have 3 fucking TVs down here. We could put it on, but even these lights are distracting me. So, geez, I had 2 sips and I'm falling out of my seat. So, I did wanna ask Jesse if he knows the difference between, I don't wanna get it wrong. It's fucking funny, and now I can't even find it. So this iPad thing sucks, because Matt's crumbling. Yeah, I can't find it. What I wanted to ask you is, you know the difference between work and your mother? I'm a journalist.
No, I don't.
I'm not coming into work tomorrow. So, see, you need to have the guest here to do that. It doesn't work when I'm alone. I can't say it to myself. So, the teleprompter, that teleprompter, it does look great there. It's very
It looks good. It
professional.
doesn't work though.
Yeah, exactly. So, the Bobby didn't put up the picture of me and the young lady who works for the Mets.
My dad's favorite person.
Yeah, Brian doesn't really like her. Bobby, this could be the future Mrs. Seth. Look at that. You tell me that is a fucking couple right there. That is a power couple, a baseball and broadcasting power couple. I'm going to count that as our first date. I'm going to count that photo as our second date. Our first date was when I said, "Hey, would you mind taking a photo with me?" So, I'll count that as the first date. On my balls, yeah, my balls are illuminated. My disco balls. So, the other question, I forget where we were. Uh, I think we were at, I almost said
talking about it first.
Shea Stadium. What?
You were talking about the Knicks before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sports in this town. We were talking about the Knicks the other night, and that they're legitimately a good team.
Yeah.
What's the deal with those 2 football fiascos
Oh man.
that don't even play in this state? What's with the
Which one's the bigger disaster is the real question.
that's the real question. I mean, there was a time where as a Jet fan, uh, you took a lot of shit from all the Giants fans, but now it's like, huh, it's one is bad. Oh yeah, now I look fucking all tan. Like I just got back from Puerto Rico. Um, and that reminds me of a joke, but I will refrain for right now. So what like how come it's become almost routine that
I don't think it's just one thing because obviously it's 2 different franchises. But growing up, the Giants were my favorite team and made me love football. I mean, I used to go to games with my dad and I used to love it, but they're disastrous now. I mean, I think for the Jets it was a little different. They had a really good roster. Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets, which was supposed to be the savior. But I think he was a little too old, and I just think that one year that he had the injury when he went down in the first
Right.
game, which was
right his
Jets
precious
being-
little ankle.
that was crazy. I thought it was like a joke at first because with all the luck the Jets have, I couldn't believe how he went
Yeah.
down after running out with the flag and everything.
Yeah.
And seeing him go down like that, it was kind of crazy. Because even as a Giants fan, I thought they were going to like do good that year. The Giants
On paper, the Jets were, I'm going to say, a 10-6 team, easily.
Way better than the Giants because they had a full defense. The
Right.
defense was incredible. Even when they had Zach Wilson, he was, obviously bringing them down a little bit. But even with Rodgers on that team, they didn't look great, but the defense always looked great.
Right.
And I know they were a little downhill last year, but I think they were kind of just sick of the losing. They kind of needed to find a new
I
coach.
cannot fathom, first of all, for any quarterback, for I don't give a shit what team you're on. You watch these guys, especially the Jets and Giants, they're getting sacked 3 out of 4
Yeah.
possessions.
It all starts at the line. I mean, even when I played football, I played the line. So I was a defensive lineman, but it's the most important position on the field other than the quarterback. It really is. Like, if you don't have a good offensive or defensive line, it's very hard to
Right.
control the game. I mean, even if you have Tom Brady, right, in his prime, you have no line, you're getting sacked every time.
Right. It doesn't, you could put anyone there. It won't.
Look at the Super Bowl that the Giants won.
Right.
When they versed the undefeated Patriots. The
Right.
whole reason they beat them was because of the defensive line.
So it's really, and the funny thing is that it all, especially in New York, it all falls on the quarterback. It's make or break. And meanwhile, the guy doesn't have a second to throw the fucking ball. And then you see like Sam Darnold leaves New York and has success.
Yeah.
My son is a huge Geno Smith fan from when Geno was on the Jets. He leaves the Jets and he's a fucking superstar. So it's crazy. It's crazy. But so now Jesse is going to be stuck listening to hold on, I'm gonna again I did that. That's usually where the glasses are. I know it's weird that I'm vain with the glasses. We do have time because I do have to um, go into I have a crazy storage story, but I have a crazier Tinder tale. Um, and I think it was Tinder. It wasn't Match, but I get a like, and it's from a girl, an ex-girlfriend, a girl who I dated years ago. And so we decided to go out, and I met her at the place. We went local. It was close enough that we could walk home. We had numerous cocktails, and we were laughing. It was like being back in college again. It was so much fun. And she says to me, "I gotta pee." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." And I point to a bush. She, she goes into the bush. She drops her pants, goes into the bush, and, I'm not gonna lie, it got me a little bit excited there. And so I reach my hand in the bush, and I feel something long dangling from between her legs, and I'm like, "Hey, did you have a sex change?" And she said, "Oh, no, no. While I was peeing, I decided to take a shit." So,
That's
so that was fucked up. And people are saying, "Huh, is that real? Is it fiction or nonfiction?" That should be the theme of the show: is fiction or nonfiction. Then the other one. I'm drawing a blank, and it was truly a filthy fucking joke. But so the real deal is that, oh, yes. So I met this young lady, and we had a great dinner, and we came back here, and we made sweet love. Uh, and then she's like cuddling. She just starts stroking Seth Jr. She starts stroking my dick, and I'm like, "Do you wanna go again? Are you still horny?" And she says, "No, I just really miss mine." And I was like, "Ooh." So that's 2 transsexual jokes back to back. That's not my thing. Uh, it's not my thing. I can't even think of something witty because then people will be like, "That guy's a fucking he loves the trannies." But, I grew up in a time where blowing a tranny meant something completely different. It was automotive related when you blew a tranny. Now, woof. So, So, and I didn't plan this well because I don't have shots to do in front of me, but I will tell you that the lights are very cool now. I have them set on like a slow fade. It's a soft fade,
That's good.
a soft fade. I like it. I like it a lot. Those are my Ashawabi gummies. They give me,
Ashwagandha.
yeah, what he said,
Yeah.
Uganda.
Get your cock on.
They give me, that's why I have an erection. I was going to say it's what makes my mind sharp like a tack, like a
Joe Rogan.
tack. So seriously, uh, my match experience this week was a girl who, after talking on the phone 3 or 4 times, acted like she wanted to get married. And I'm like, dude, we talked on the phone 3 or 4 times. And she's like, no, no, my glasses. She says, no, no, if we're going to be serious. And I'm like, you're killing the vibe. I'm trying to get laid here. She was, she'd like to be married within 3, 4 months. 3, 4 months. I have 6 more months on my lease here. I'm not going anywhere. So, tonight was a Gypsy Felons rehearsal here that drove everyone from the house and neighboring communities away. I saw you all fucking leave. I know what goes on. But tomorrow night is a 80 below, 90 below. It's a band I'm filling in with. I don't know. I have to sneeze. Uh, Tell a humorous story.
I don't do stand-up jokes, Seth. I'm not lying.
Oh
So
my
I'll
God.
tell you this: with you, I, I gotta give it to you. I'm always smiling. I'm always laughing. I
See
could be just
that?
hanging out, relaxing, and
See that?
he comes in. It's like a stand-up routine every time I see him. It's fun
Because
being around Seth.
mostly because I'm mentally ill. But
Yeah,
that's
but so am I. So I enjoy
so it works out well.
it. Yeah.
So tomorrow night I'm going to record part of the 80 below uh,
You sounded good tonight, by the way. Like,
rehearsal. Thank you.
no, you did. It was different. It was like
Thank you.
I'm serious. Like hearing everything together because I hear you practicing the drums and
Right,
everything,
right,
but to hear it all come together like that, it's kind of cool.
right. And the songs that we play don't have, it's not like the songs I write that
No,
uh
but at least I know the song, so it
right,
sounds good
right.
because you're like, you know.
Well, everyone knows Just the Tip, which is my introduction music. So so I'm trying to so the hold on. Yes. So we do have a few more minutes. But so the marriage Tinder girl was nuts. But here is the storage tales. I had there was a unit that no one was bidding on. And I'm like, how is no one bidding on this? It's a huge unit. So what that means is it's more shit than I could possibly get rid of. So uh there's maybe 3 hours left and I'm awake and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna bid $10. Then I win it and I'm super excited until I get there and it smells like a fucking porta john at a state fair in a Tex-Mex type of town because it was vile. Uh I wound up, and it's not something I do, and it's not something you're supposed to do. I went to grab the couch was beautiful and had a live mouse ran out and ran across my feet. I'm not going to mention the place because then storage on Waverly and Patchogue will get upset with me. But phew, mouse duty everywhere. So if you have storage, uh, there are some beautiful places. I personally have a unit in Freeport at Extra Space Storage. Lovely,
Do,
lovely. I've got a big one.
do they know what you're talking about with the storages? Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if they're
they
gearing
follow
up,
my
like in
my
the.
little adventures, and I always say it's not like on TV. We've shown pictures where it's like
The TV show's funny though. You would be good on that.
I would be great
You
on
would
that.
be good on that.
I think that now that Barry the Jew isn't there, they should have Seth
They
the
should- they
Jew
should.
and
Who's the guy who says "yep" when he does the thing?
Dave Hester.
Yeah.
Yep,
You
yep.
would be good at that.
So my catchphrase, I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking it should be "Oi!" And when I see something in a locker I like, I can be like, "Oi!" So, listen, I'll fucking wear a yarmulke. I'll Jew it up if they want me to.
Yeah,
I have I have no issues with
You
that.
would look good with it with that, man. And
Yeah.
you know what? I feel like you'd fit in with the crew pretty well. You'd have them all laughing over that.
Yeah, and
You
plus
would.
that chick Brandy,
Oh yeah.
let me tell you, I had a dog named Brandy,
Did you?
so that leads me to believe that if she and I got together just to honor my dog, you know, doggy. So a guy is driving his son to school, and I know that I'm real short on time. I'm gonna have to have Jesse back so we could actually talk sports. And he's gonna be starting a new fabulous podcast. And when that gets underway, we're gonna have him back. But so a guy's driving his kid to school. They stop at a red light, and there's two dogs fucking on a lawn. And the boy says, "Daddy, what's that? What's that?" And the father says, "Oh, the dog hurt himself, and so his friend said, 'Grab on, and I'll help you get home.'" And the kid said, "That's just like life." And the father says, "What do you mean?" And the kid says, "You try to help someone, and they fuck you in the ass." So, on that happy note, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Uh, this is my therapy. I know I need
Thank you for
therapy.
having me, Seth. It was
So,
fun. I enjoyed it, man.
bro,
Thank
we'll
you very much.
definitely have you on
Absolutely.
for a real.
Well, I want to say this: when I do start, not the Mets podcast, that'll be different. You can come on that as well. But when me and my
That's the
buddies,
one where I don't wear pants.
that's very true. But when me and my buddy start that other podcast, I want you to come on and tell everybody about your music.
Oh, I would love to.
Like get really
So
detailed.
him and his boyfriend are doing a podcast on the Gay Network. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So check out Strong Island TV. There's lots of fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week on the
Cheers.
Happy Hour with Seth.